The Dustkeeper has 4 health in the original release and 3 in the Platinum hits. Will only land in 3 spots at the start to shoot at Blinx. The Dustkeeper has 4 spots it can jump to, and it will never jump more than 2 spots apart. If the Dustkeeper loses sight of Blinx, it will continue to jump and will only attack him if it has passed the 4 jump threshold after regaining sight of Blinx. The Dustkeeper has 3 attacks: the light attack, the heavy attack, and the spin attack. After 4 jumps, the Dustkeeper will alternate between light and heavy attacks. It seems to be completely random, but favouring the light attack, more so than the heavy attack. The light attack has 3 trash that will be shot, with the 2 outer trash getting destroyed. The heavy attack has a 16-ton weight, and 2 trash that spawn on the outer side of it. The spin attack is activated by getting too close to the Dustkeeper, growing in size very quickly and becoming invulnerable. If the heavy attack is used and the Dustkeeper loses sight of Blinx, he will then stand still for around 5 seconds. The Dustkeeper will start moving again if it regains sight of Blinx. When hit, the Dustkeeper will immediately shoot after 1 jump, after it has sight on Blinx, alternating randomly between light and heavy attacks. As soon as the Dustkeeper jumps after getting hit, it's vulnerable to trash again, making it very easy to chain attacks. The Dustkeeper and the Dust King are unique when dropping gold, because the gold will spawn above the ground and not on the ground, making it so that Blinx will have to jump to get all the gold. And the Dustkeeper is a great source of early game gold farming for how quick you can kill it. Fun facts about the Dustkeeper. So, the Dustkeeper can shoot 5 different pieces of trash, 6 if you include the 16-ton weight. This is the same for every monster that shoots trash, excluding the Dust King and Hydrosaur. When the Dustkeeper uses the heavy attack, the staff clock hands spin around until they both stop at 12 o'clock. The canisters are worth 30 gold, so always take them back with you to get an extra 120 gold. The red barrels are worth 8 gold, and 3 spawn in the arena. Collect all canisters and red barrels and get a minimum 144 extra gold. The Dustkeeper and Dust King both have 15 numbers displayed on their body, and the total number is 79. The Dustkeeper in an early build was red, and the 16-ton weight looked a lot different. Alright, moving on to the second boss. Kerogon has 3 HP on original release and platinum hits. Kerogon does not spawn at the start of the level, and is very unique that it will only spawn after you leave the doors entering the arena. Kerogon will randomly pick to go clockwise or counterclockwise towards you. Kerogon can only patrol the outer ring of the arena and cannot jump onto the higher elevated platforms. He cannot jump in the water either, unless he does a charge attack, in which case he will jump once in the water and then immediately jump to the outer ring. Kerogon will always jump 6 times before initiating an attack. This attack changes depending on the situation. Kerogon has a regular shooting attack and a charge attack. After 6 jumps, if you're within a short range of Kerogon, he will shoot trash at you. If continued, this will happen 4 times in a row. On the 5th time, after 6 jumps, Kerogon will always initiate a charge attack, and then the cycle continues. 4 shooting attacks, and then 1 charge attack, and then repeating. If you are out of Kerogon's range, he will instead charge attack you 100% of the time, always charging after 6 jumps. This charge attack can be easily achieved after skipping through the water. If Blinx shoots trash at his mouth, Kerogon will grow larger, but move slower as a consequence. Kerogon can grow 3 times maximum, but can still swallow trash afterwards. After swallowing any amount of trash, if you go behind Kerogon, he will have an animation where he's trying to look for you. Kerogon's jumps will decrease in speed depending on how large he is. The amount of times that Kerogon needs to jump before initiating an attack changes depending on how big he is. Stage 0 is 6 jumps, Stage 1 is 4 jumps, Stage 2 is 3 jumps, and Stage 3 is 2 jumps. After reaching Stage 3, there's a very high chance that after 2 jumps, he will spit out all previous trash he's swallowed and return back to Stage 0. If Kerogon is hit, he will spit out all trash he has swallowed despite whatever stage he is currently on. If he had 0 trash after getting hit, he will always initiate a charge attack no matter how close you are. If he has at least swallowed 1 piece of trash before getting hit, he will spit it out and check how far away you are. If you are within close proximity, Kerogon will jump once and then shoot trash and then continue with its cycle. If you are far away, it will instead do a charge attack at you and then go back to its cycle. After depleting its HP, the game will force you to stop for a certain amount of seconds to watch as Kerogon dies. You can defeat Kerogon at any stage, however, the amount of gold that will drop will not be determined by what stage the Kerogon dies in. Fun facts: the camera at the start is quite unique where you change it with the right thumbstick and it will stay like that until reaching the boss. You can get trapped in the starting area if you use a rewind. Time controls can be used before entering Kerogon's boss fight. Kerogon has no damage hitbox until the camera pans back at Blinx, but can still destroy trash and bombs. Kerogon has no way of damaging you on the higher platforms because he can't raise or lower where he shoots. This is the same in the water unless he charge attacks you. You can stand in multiple corners and he can't touch you. When Kerogon swallows a piece of trash, it despawns, but stores what the trash was so he can spit it out again. This ends up spawning new trash with 2 HP. So each piece of trash that hasn't been shot has a default of 3 HP. After shooting trash 3 times, it'll break. This means that if a trash has 1 HP and you shoot it into Kerogon's mouth, you can spawn the same trash with more HP. If you shoot a bomb or a super bomb into Kerogon's mouth, when it spits it out, it'll spawn a brand new bomb or super bomb unfused. And when he shoots a bomb or a super bomb at you, it won't explode, nor does it have a hitbox to damage you. There's 4 different time crystal groups of 3 that spawn in the arena. There's only enough to make 3 time controls, leaving you 1 crystal short to make 4. Next boss on our list is Molesaur. Molesaur has 3 HP for original release and platinum hits. Molesaur will always try to attack after spawning in at the start. After an attack, Molesaur will spawn randomly in the arena. If within close proximity, Molesaur will chase and attack Blinx. If far enough away, Molesaur will pop its head up and will be vulnerable to attack. If Blinx moves within range of Molesaur while it's popped up, it'll go straight into attacking. When Molesaur attacks Blinx in the sand, it's vulnerable for a very short amount of time. When attacking Blinx on the stone platform, it is vulnerable for a much longer period of time. If Molesaur has already swallowed a stone platform, then there's a chance that when spawned far away, it'll respawn a platform, max number being 6. Molesaur is invulnerable while shooting at a platform. Molesaur is the only boss that can't respawn trash in its arena, so if you run out of trash, it's impossible to kill it. Alright, fun facts. You can hit Molesaur before he attacks Blinx in the sand with a very well timed trash shot. If you stand on top of the fridge, Molesaur can't hurt you. Molesaur can drop the most amount of gold out of the 4 lower ranked bosses. And this is what Molesaur looks like when traveling under the sand. Alright, you think next boss on our list is actually Dust King, but we're going to move on to Juggernaut first, to complete the list of the lower ranked bosses. Juggernaut has 5 HP for original release and platinum hits. Juggernaut will roll in a straight line towards Blinx and will not turn midway. He will only ever roll once, no matter what. After each roll, Juggernaut will return to its original position and drop down. It'll always try to jump behind or around Blinx, never directly on top on purpose. When there are no minions spawned in the map, every time Juggernaut jumps, a bomb will spawn on the map. If you hit Juggernaut before the bomb lands on the ground, it will stay unfused. If Juggernaut is left and untouched, the bomb will fuse and then explode as normal. If there are minions on the map, then Juggernaut will not drop any bombs. Each time Juggernaut is hit, 3 minions spawn into the map from his body. A max of 12 minions can be alive at the same time, due to the Juggernaut only having 5 HP, and being able to spawn minions 4 times. After getting hit, Juggernaut will launch back up into ball form, doing the same rolling attack and bringing any minions to orbit around him. When minions spot the player, they will express themselves through small excited jumps and then rolling towards Blinx. When shot by trash, they die and drop 1 random time crystal. If any remaining minion is alive when the boss dies, they will also die. However, they will not drop a time crystal because of this. Because Juggernaut doesn't shoot trash, the map will spawn 1 trash every 5 seconds, and this will only occur if any of the 5 trash that is spawned on the map already is taken. Fun facts: Juggernaut has pieces of trash inside his body, and this is also an indicator of how much HP he has. You can cheese Juggernaut with rewinds to stop the minions spawning. You can also sit on top of this fridge and kill Juggernaut really easily. Juggernaut on average is the worst when it comes to how much gold it drops. You can't zoom in with the right thumbstick click in this boss fight. Moving on to the higher ranked bosses now, let's move on to the Dust King. Dust King has 5 HP for original release and platinum hits. Dust King will randomly morph the stage into 6 different patterns. And Dust King has a total of 7 different stage layouts. Dust King has 2 stages. The first stage is its ranged stage, and the second stage being its aggressive stage. In stage 1, Dust King can only move 2 units at a time only. After the minimum 4 jumps, if Dust King has vision of Blinx, they will attack with either a barrage of 6 trash or a 16-ton weight. The Dust King is unique with how the trash that they shoot is different to most monsters. Their trash list consists of a TV, a branch, the small yellow barrel, a fridge, and a giant wok. Well, it's probably not a wok, but I like to call it that anyway. Each time the stage morphs, 3 trash and 3 time crystals fall onto the stage. Only rewind, pause, slow, and retry crystals will spawn. After doing the barrage attack, the Dust King will pause and then choose to morph the stage or continue with the current stage. After the 16-ton weight attack, Dust King will either choose to morph the stage or continue with its current stage. If Blinx comes within certain range of Dust King, he will do the same spin attack as the Dust Keepers. However, this spin attack is actually smaller than the Dust Keepers. After the Dust King reaches 2 HP, it'll lose one of its staffs and enter stage 2. Stage 2 Dust King will change its movement from moving in 2s to only 1 unit at a time. Dust King is invulnerable while moving in stage 2 and will always chase Blinx. Dust King will not shoot trash at Blinx during this stage. After 8 jumps minimum, Dust King will stop jumping and try to search for Blinx. If Blinx is spotted, Dust King will start attacking almost immediately. If Blinx isn't in sight, the Dust King will look side to side trying to find Blinx and stay in position for a longer period of time. When killed, the Dust King will morph the stage back to being flat. The gold it spurts will also act the same as the Dust Keepers. Alright, fun facts. The Dust King can be displaced by shots and has the chance to just fall through the map.
What the fuck?
You can also use a rewind at the start of the level to morph the stage to another random layout. Dust King's 16-ton weight attack doesn't stop tracking you even if you move behind the Dust King. In stage 1, because the Dust King can only move in 2 units, this means that there are spots on the map where it's impossible for the Dust King to jump on. And finally, a low poly 4-3 can be seen below the Dust King's arena. Alright, Kerogon II. You know, funny thing, I actually don't know if it's called Kerogon II or not, but I don't know if it actually has a name or if it's just called Kerogon again. Anyway, I like calling it Kerogon II. Kerogon II has 6 HP on original release and 5 HP on the platinum hits. Kerogon II will look at Blinx for 6 seconds and then start chasing Blinx, unless acted upon before then. Like shooting a trash into its mouth, then it will immediately run at Blinx. If you run behind Kerogon II, it will keep jumping forever until it finds Blinx again. Trash shot speed will be faster the further Blinx is from Kerogon II. Okay, so I've tried reading this like 6 times, and I just can't do it. So here's the attack pattern that Kerogon II will follow on screen now. But I will read one as an example. So in stage 0, with no trash swallowed in phase 1, Kerogon will start out with 1 jump and then will attack Blinx with a shooting attack. Then it'll jump 3 times and then shoot Blinx, and this will happen twice. Then after that, it'll jump 3 times and then it'll charge at Blinx. After the charge attack, it'll jump twice, then it'll shoot at Blinx. Then it'll jump 3 times again and then it'll shoot Blinx. Then another 3 jumps and then it'll do its tail whip. And then after its tail whip attack, it will then reset back to the start. Now this pattern of attacks is the same with stage 1 and 2, but the amount of jumps will change depending on what stage it's in. Now, stage 3 is where it gets interesting. So in stage 3, Kerogon II will want to spit out the trash as fast as possible. But depending on where it is on the cycle of its pattern, things will change. So if Kerogon II is on stage 3 and then its cycle ends on attack, it'll spit out the trash and shrink back to stage 0. If the cycle ends on a charge, it'll then jump 5 times and then spit out the trash. If the cycle ends on a tail whip, it'll jump once and then spit out the trash. There you go, that's the attacking phase for all the Kerogon stages for Kerogon II. Regardless of what stage it's on, after it spits out trash, it'll always do a barrel attack. After reaching 3 HP, Kerogon's charge attack will change to 2 charge attacks. With Kerogon's tail whip attack, the stage can only be broken a certain amount of times until it gets small enough. However, with Kerogon II increased in size, its tail whip attack will actually increase in damage. So, stage 0's tail whip will destroy the stage, maximum of 12 times. Stage 1's Tail Whip will destroy the stage a maximum of 6 times. Stage 2 Tail Whip will destroy the stage a maximum of 4 times. And Stage 3's Tail Whip attack will destroy the stage a maximum of 3 times. After the stage has reached a minimum size, Kerogon II will skip the Tail Whip attack. When Kerogon II gets hit, it'll always retaliate with a barrel attack and then restart the cycle. This makes it very easy to run around Kerogon II to get another hit. And the same cutscene shenanigans as Kerogon, where if you kill it, it'll force you to look at Kerogon for a certain amount of time before you can move again. Alright, fun facts. Because of this stage being uneven due to Kerogon II destroying it, it can't jump in certain parts. It can swallow its own trash. Kerogon II will follow the same rules as Kerogon, with spitting trash out. So if you shoot a super bomb inside of it, it will shoot out a brand new super bomb back at you. Kerogon II is a great spot to farm easy crystals because it spawns every single time crystal in the game here. If you sweep up or move the barrels so that they aren't moving, you can jump on top of them and Blinx thinks it's moving.
Okay, Joe, right foot green.
Alright, moving on to Hydrosaur. Hydrosaur has 8 HP on original release and 7 HP on platinum hits. Hydrosaur will track Blinx and will attack when Blinx is over a stone platform, ice circles, or the water. Hydrosaur will also attack Blinx if it hasn't surfaced in around 14 to 15 seconds, and will just cut through the stage. In Phase 1, if Hydrosaur eats a stone platform, randomly pop up from the water. The attacking pattern for Hydrosaur, the first attack is always a barrel attack, the second attack is another barrel attack, and the third attack will be to shoot time crystals. And then it repeats. Same thing with Kerogon II, trash shot speed from Hydrosaur is faster the further away you are from it. If any stone platforms are gone, then Hydrosaur will have a chance to shoot out a stone platform without interrupting the cycle. In Phase 1, after every attack, Hydrosaur will pop up from where it last attacked except for stone platform attacks. When popped up, Hydrosaur will pop back down if you move within its range, or move at any point if you're already in its range. It will also pop down if trash is shot at all, and it doesn't have to be aimed at him specifically. If standing still when popping up close, it will not pop down unless it reaches full length of swimming up. When Hydrosaur reaches 6 HP, it will insert a torpedo attack into its attack pattern depending on the attack cycle it last got hit on. An example is that if Hydrosaur couldn't attack you, and you bring it to 6 HP, it will follow the attack pattern of shooting trash first, then shooting trash second, then shooting crystals third, and then doing a torpedo attack fourth, and then repeating. When doing its torpedo attack, Hydrosaur will create a shockwave upon impact of the island, causing Blinx to fall if touching the shockwave. When 6 HP or lower, if Blinx runs far enough away when Hydrosaur pops up, it will do a torpedo attack no matter what. After reaching 6 HP, every time Hydrosaur is damaged, it will charge up an attack that will take off and sink one of the segmented islands. When Hydrosaur reaches 5 HP, it will stop popping up after every attack. You can reach the goal gate if you leave either the left or the right mini islands closest to the goal gate, and of course the middle island. All the other islands will not allow you to reach the goal gate. Fun facts. You can damage Hydrosaur underwater with bombs. You can rewind the islands from collapsing if you're fast enough after it's falling down. You can fall through the floor on very rare occasions.
Well, that just happened.
Even if the shockwave is paused, you will still fall over if you touch it. With money duping, it's possible to crash the game through overloading. There's also a chance that the game glitches out but won't crash if you get all the gold before it spurts out. Last boss in the higher ranks, Juggernaut II. Juggernaut II has 8 HP on original release and the platinum hits. Juggernaut II will always roll at the beginning of the stage. It has to roll at least once before going back to the center of the stage. Juggernaut II will then return to the center and drop down. Juggernaut II will follow the same jumping rules as the regular Juggernaut if no minions have spawned. The bombs dropped from Juggernaut II will cause a hole to appear in the square parts of the map wherever it drops. Juggernaut II will jump twice before returning in ball form. When Juggernaut II is damaged, 3 minions will spawn from behind him. They act the same as the regular Juggernaut minions, but with some differences. When Juggernaut II is in ball form, the minions will jump in place as to not overwhelm the player with 4 different enemies rolling at him. After Juggernaut II stops rolling, it will check to see if any minions are still alive. If any minions are alive, then it will roll again until they are all dead. Each minion killed will change the stage speed and which direction it goes. When reaching 4 HP on Juggernaut 2, whenever a minion is killed, it will change the height of the middle layer with each kill. When reaching 3 HP on Juggernaut 2, Juggernaut 2 will end up in a phase 2 aggressive mode. Juggernaut 2 will not go into ball form while there are minions still alive, but it is still invulnerable. After every time it's hit, it will immediately do a jump that will break square parts of the stage. After all minions are dead, Juggernaut 2 will go back to being vulnerable and dropping bombs. Random chance to go back into ball form. When reaching 2 HP, Juggernaut 2 will do its jump attack and either sink the outer ring or the inner ring slowly. Then it'll rise back up and repeat. This will alternate between the opposite ring that didn't get sucked before when it's on 1 HP. Alright, fun facts. While the boss is alive, if any trash is touching the outer lava, the game runs a check and destroys all objects on the lava at the same time every few seconds. You can use the same rewind cheese on Juggernaut 2, but can only get 1 hit in at a time. When you rewind cheese Juggernaut 2, minions will still spawn under the map and you can actually destroy them by having a bomb placed in the middle. And same thing as regular Juggernaut, the trash inside is an indicator on when he'll enter aggressive phase. Alright, finally. Probably one of the most complex bosses in the game, Chronohorn. Chronohorn has 12 HP on original release and platinum hits, with 6 regular health points, 5 time control armor points, and then 1 last final health point. Chronohorn will take all time controls before the boss fight starts. Chronohorn has 4 phases: his normal phase, his clone phase, his aggressive phase, and his vulnerable phase. Chronohorn will immediately go towards the left or the right corner of the arena to do an attack, always patrolling the outer perimeter. If Chronohorn goes left, patrol counterclockwise. If right, then patrol clockwise. Chronohorn follows an attack pattern for the first 3 turns. After that, it's RNG on what Chronohorn will do. The first 3 attacks follow. Chronohorn will shoot a barrage of bombs, then it will move to a corner, shoot a barrage of bombs again, move to another corner, and then it'll fuse a bomb with an electric shock. After that, Chronohorn can either use a time control or use another electric shock or shoot more bombs. There's some conditions that need to be met if Chronohorn needs to do a certain attack. So, if Chronohorn wants to shoot bombs, there needs to be less than 2 full clusters of bombs spawned on the map. If there are no bombs, or not many spawned on the map, bomb attack will most likely take priority over any other attack. If Chronohorn wants to fuse a bomb, there must be at least 1 bomb on the map. Chronohorn can use time controls anytime after the first 3 mandatory turns. In phase 1, Chronohorn is only limited to fast forward and slow. Chronohorn is most likely to activate a time control after fusing a bomb to explode. When Chronohorn uses a time control in phase 1, he will always follow it up with a lightning attack. After that, it will check to see if there are bombs. If not enough bombs, shoot more bombs. If too many bombs, fuse 1 to explode. Chronohorn actually has a teleport ability if you get too close. It'll teleport behind you and use a triple lightning attack. To damage Chronohorn, you need to shoot a bomb or spike bullet when he starts shooting bombs. Notice his time circle open with a red light inside. Random time crystals will drop throughout the fight during phase 1 and 2. Chronohorn is vulnerable to time control usage. Blinx is able to counter Chronohorn's own time controls with his time controls. After reducing Chronohorn's HP to 3, phase 2, the clone phase, will begin immediately. 2 Chronohorns will be active and mirror each other's movements and attack you. You'll need to damage both when they shoot bombs to damage the real Chronohorn. Only damaging one Chronohorn, regardless of which one it is, will not damage the real Chronohorn. This phase still follows the same priority rules as the first Chronohorn for the most part. Instead of patrolling the outer perimeter of the stage, Chronohorn will now circle around Blinx. Chronohorn's bomb attack now adds frozen bombs to the cluster. When frozen bombs explode, it adds an ice skating property to the stage, same as the Everwinter terrain. Chronohorn will not fuse bombs or triple lightning attack anymore during this phase, and has been replaced with different attacks. Chronohorn now has a slam attack that will produce a damaging shockwave that will hurt Blinx and explode bombs. If there are too many bombs on the stage, Chronohorn will tilt the stage back and forth to clean the stage. There is a 100% chance that Chronohorn will shoot bombs after the tilt attack. Chronohorn will prioritize putting bombs on the map if there aren't any. If there are bombs, then it will either do a slam attack or a time control. When using time controls, Chronohorn will have the chance to use a fast forward, slow, and a pause. When a time control is used, a slam attack is usually the follow-up and has a chance to slam again or shoot more bombs out. Reducing Chronohorn's HP by another 3 points will activate phase 3, the aggressive phase. Chronohorn's movement changes once again to now lock onto Blinx and chase him down. From this point onwards, time controls will not work to their full effectiveness, but they are a crucial part in damaging Chronohorn. Blinx will need to activate every single time control once to get through stage 3 of Chronohorn. Chronohorn will now start glowing different colours corresponding to time controls that need to be used. Chronohorn will not use any of the previous attacks mentioned, except for 4 attacks: his time control attack, his karate chop, shooting bombs, and his pulling attack. When Chronohorn gets within close range of Blinx, he will use a karate chop. Sometimes after a time control, bomb shoot, or pulling attack, whenever Chronohorn karate chops, it will spin afterwards and switch the karate chop to a different hand. Chronohorn's pulling attack will suck all crystals and bombs that is currently in front of Chronohorn and go inside of him. This pulling attack can suck Blinx in too. If sucked in, Blinx will then get shot out and spun around, being stuck for 3 seconds. If the pulling attack sucks in bombs, it will be shot back out at Blinx. After chasing Blinx for a certain amount of time, Chronohorn will either shoot bombs or do its pulling attack. If Chronohorn shoots bombs, we either go back to chasing Blinx or activate a time control. If Chronohorn does a pulling attack after chasing Blinx, it will then continue to chase Blinx again. Every time Blinx uses a new time control, Chronohorn will be stunned and one of his armor health points will be gone. If Chronohorn uses a time control, you can cancel it out. After all 5 time controls are used by Blinx, Phase 4 will begin, the vulnerable phase. Chronohorn will charge at Blinx at very fast speeds. After the first charge, Chronohorn will be vulnerable to get shot. Alright, fun facts about Chronohorn. It's possible to die at the very start of Chronohorn, but we have no idea why this happens. In the first and second phase of Chronohorn, there is an audio illusion called the Shepherd's Tone that's used in the music. It starts ascending, and then each time Chronohorn gets hit, it switches back and forth between ascending and descending. Only a certain amount of crystals can spawn in at a time, so if crystals stop spawning, just pick them all up. You can chain stun Chronohorn forever by being in his attack range. The ice bombs actually do 0 damage. If hit by the ice bombs, it'll freeze you. However, ice bombs are actually worth 100 gold. You just can't ever see it because there's no ice bombs in any other level besides Momatopolis. It's possible to kill yourself before the game counts it as a win. It'll rewind you before you shot Chronohorn. You can also kill yourself as the boss dies and get the ending cutscene while the game is rewinding. Alright, and that's basically how all the Blinx bosses work. This was supposed to come out before the new year, but I kinda procrastinated like hell. If you want more videos like this, let me know in the comments. Follow my Twitch channel where I stream, like the video, yada yada yada, you know the drill. Anyway, Happy New Year, and here's to a great 2024.